And Johnny, let's move into our next topic. We're technically still sticking with Marvel on this podcast, although this film is Fox Marvel.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of loosely now because they own all that shit.
Disney's like, yes, this is ours. We can't find a way to get out of it now.
It's already done.
Which, you know what I will say, that just blew my effing mind is, let me pull it up really quick. Let's see. Maisie
Williams.
So she did an interview a little while ago. Yep. So it was the end of March. She did an interview. And Entertainment Weekly had it to where she's frustrated in an interview with Rolling Stones.
Okay.
She was frustrated about New Mutants. Because according to, so I'm just going to read the article. In a Rolling Stones interview with Game of Thrones actresses Maisie Williams and Sophie Turner, Williams said of the pending sci-fi film, who knows when the fuck that's going to come out. Hopefully this interview will make everyone hurry up a little bit. The actress reportedly confirmed reports the film is supposed to undergo reshoots to make it scarier, but it also seems as though the reshoots have yet to actually happen. She added that she recently asked a co-star, Charlie Heaton, what the fuck is going on with this movie? And last month, Williams' co-star, Anaya Taylor-Joy, said, it's coming your way at some point. There was also rumors that I saw that apparently it might get kicked to Disney Plus or Hulu, and it might become just a television series. That would be fun. Not. But
if Disney does it, they'll do it right.
Well, yeah, no, but like what it is right now, just fuck it. We ain't putting it in theaters. It'll go to Hulu, or like something like that, where it doesn't even make theaters. That would be horrible for that Fox product. But the thing we're talking about is
Disney don't care. It wasn't their money.
Yeah. The thing we're talking about, yeah, they didn't spend money to make it. And anything they get gets split. So Fox is fucked. But basically what we're talking about is Dark Phoenix. Because first off, there was a Dark Phoenix trailer in our Endgame screening.
Yes.
And me, you, and Dave mocked it the whole time. They showed us in the trailer a little bit more of the Phoenix Force, and yes, it kind of looks like it is in the comics, where I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Not enough to make me go, yes, I'm excited for this movie. I still think it's going to be a flaming pile of dog shit. It's kind of like what Sean said on the Fast Break this week. He used the analogy because we were talking about a basketball player, and I said, well, maybe a change of scenery would be good for him. Sean's response was, if I take shit and put it in a different room, it's still shit. Well, my example here is, if I put a hat on the shit, it's still shit. That's what I think of that. According to Entertainment Weekly, though, production on the forthcoming sequel actually wrapped back in 2017. Dark Phoenix we're talking about. However, the film has since gone through a number of reshoots. During that time frame, the setting of the third act climax has gone through significant changes. Reporter Tim Stack explains, the filmmakers decided to revamp the look of the Phoenix in post, more cosmic and less flamey, according to the director. That looks like it was seen in the trailer. Like I said, it kind of looks cool. Good thing, kudos to Dark Phoenix for right now. And shoot a new third act. Instead of taking place in space, the climax finds all the X-Men kidnapped and on board a military train. So what we have seen in the last few trailers of them on the train, which, surprise, that's the third act climax. Totally didn't think that would be in a trailer, but I guess it is. I'm just going to ask you, it says that this does mark a rather huge change from the comic story, although Kinberg explains this is part of an ambitious vision of the film. And he said, I think the biggest challenge is modulating the film so that we have the big scale and visual effects actions that these movies require, but balancing that in a way that feels calibrated with the drama. You can read the rest in the article down below. Johnny, I just want to get to and ask you the question. Are these reshoots going to make the movie better or worse?
My first thought...
Because you asked me before the podcast, do I want your answer now? And I said, no, wait for this segment. So now I get to hear your answer.
My overall answer, it doesn't fucking matter.
It's still going to be a flaming pile of dog turd.
It just doesn't fucking matter. As soon as this is over, Disney is just going to cut that limb off and say, we're going to do our own now.
Yeah, and I mean...
Let this thing die.
So, let it die.
Shh, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean...
It's okay, Fox.
We're putting Fox down.
Put it down.
Putting it down to sleep.
Like my tablet and phone have both told me at one time, we've put an app to sleep.
Yeah. We put an app to sleep.
I'm like, what?
The thing I just don't get with it,
but I mean,
is this is a shit situation. I'm just gonna say that
this is a shit situation to be
because like New Mutants is early enough in the reshoots process to where Disney could be like, no, fuck that. We're just not gonna do that. This film was so far along though that it's so far along, and number 3, it's like what we saw mentioned in the Doctor Strange article I read. This is number 3, technically number 4. Yeah, technically number 4.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, that's way too many movies. You don't want 4, you want 3. Look at Star Wars. They gave us 3, waited. They gave us 3, waited. They gave us 3. They're trilogies, not quadruples.
Even main Avengers usually get 3.
Bingo. Where X-Men gave us First Class, Days of Futures Past, which really didn't have to fucking happen, Age of Apocalypse, and now Dark Phoenix. Am I right? Is that my thinking?
In this session, yeah. Like the first time they gave us 3.
Because it was the 60s, 70s, 80s, and now the 90s.
Yeah.
Is what they're going with. This movie to me, first off, I don't get the decision now to show us the climax scene in the trailer.
I wouldn't have known until that article.
Exactly. Like, I only know because of this article because we're doing this podcast. Yeah. But that's a bold move. Like Dave would say, bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. And my guess is that it's not going to pay off. This movie is going to be bad. This might be... I'm going to look at our movie reviews really quick because we are reviewing this movie because it's an X-Men movie. And we do love the X-Men. I do, of course.
Of course.
Let's see.
Even if Wolverine's not in it.
My worst rated movie so far this year was Hellboy. That was a 2.5. I think that this film could be worse than that. This will be a 2 or less in my mind. Like, that's what I'm gearing up for coming in.
I'm not giving a rating until I go see it. That's where I stand.
Because your lowest rated is a 3.5. Johnny's on the high end of everything. Johnny will be like, oh, it's a 5. No, I'm kidding.
No,
Johnny will be like, well, it's a 3.
I come in without predetermining a score.
With me, it's...
Except for Endgame. Endgame was 5 as soon as I walked in.
With this one, it's hard for me because like everything up to this point, when I saw the first trailer, I wasn't excited. When I saw the latest trailer, I was like, okay, there's some cool things here, but overall, I'm not excited for this movie. Like Dave said after seeing, he goes, "Oh, I forgot how overpowered Pietro is in this universe, like how overpowered Quicksilver is."
I wonder for So we got the scene in the trailer where he's running on the debris.
I like how Dave's like, he's dead now. You're in Disney. You're dead now.
So he's running on the debris towards Phoenix. I wonder if we're gonna get a Superman Flash scene from Justice League where he's running on it and she goes,
and she turns. Yeah.
And he goes,
With me, with this, I feel like, so, and this has been the ride with me. Like, X-Men First Class, I actually really liked that film.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good X-Men film. Days of Futures Past, I'll be completely honest, was not my style. It was just one of those things. That was one, too, where I read the comic. And it was like, after reading the comic, I was like, they're not going to have enough to put a movie around this, right? Because, like, even the Days of Futures Past comic was like 2 issues of actual Days of Futures Past. They had 1 issue that was about Nightcrawler going through the 7 layers of hell and doing Dante's Inferno. Yeah, that was a complete issue in Days of Futures Past where Mark and I were like, why the fuck is this in there? It was kind of cool, but what the fuck was this doing in there? It had nothing to do with the Days of Futures Past story.
Interesting.
So it was interesting. Exactly, it was interesting. To where Age of Apocalypse, it wasn't as good as First Class in my mind, but I didn't hate it. There were things that I was like, okay, that's kind of nah. But I didn't hate it. This movie, I have not liked anything I have seen from it. And after reading Dark Phoenix, because Mark and I are going to do that for this movie on Graphic Conversations this year, after reading it, because I've already pre-read it before we filmed the episode, I get now where they're trying to tie things into the comic, but I just feel like the vision's off. We're like you said during the Endgame review, and this isn't going to be a spoiler for Endgame, so don't panic. But when you get to the climax scene in that, one of our friends said, "Oh, it looks like the comic. It looks like you're reading the comic on the screen, how it played out.
Looks like you're reading comics."
Basically. And with this vision, like, when I hear the word ambitious vision, my first thought is no, don't. Just don't. Because usually if you're the type that has to say, oh, we're being ambitious with it, it's bad ambitious. Like, I mean, do we want it to be like every other Marvel film? No, we don't want every film to be the same. But I feel like when they say ambitious vision, it's going out on a step to like, oh, we got to try to one-up ourselves, or we got to really do this to one-up, and it's just going to fall flat to where it's like, I feel like, what's the words I'm looking for? They're trying to be too, not creative, but they're trying to be too, I can't even think of the word. I'll put it this way. It's like a teacher once told me, keep it simple, stupid. They're trying to do too much, and that's where the ambitious aspect comes in. What are you thinking? Because I've kind of rambled.
I try not to have too harsh of a. I try not to go in with a score, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing.
I know you
like,
are.
I can see the movie,
but you have an idea, and
that's
that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm trying to go in with an open mind where I don't want to have like too many pre-predictions. Am I excited for it? Not necessarily at this point.
Is it because of the Fox Disney deal, though?
Part of it's that. Part of it, like, to me, I know this at this point, this doesn't matter because I think Disney's going to wipe the slate clean and just restart their own.
Yeah, reboot them.
Because not to mention, this is the 90s. I don't think they're gonna do anything timeline like that. They're gonna just set it where they are right now. They want to keep going with their universe.
Bingo.
So it's like, okay, we need old I almost said Patrick Stewart. We need old Charles Xavier. We need old Magneto. We need all these ones that are kids right now. We need them to be actual adults. And that's the thing. It's like, and you know what? I'm not gonna like shit on this one just yet. This one might be like, for all we know, it might be better than the other ones, and they're just trying not to show too many of the good scenes. I'm hoping that's the case, because even the train scene, we didn't get a lot from that. I hope that's not like what they showed us all was the climax. Yeah, I'm trying to think that it's not. I hope they're not too stupid to do something like that. And I think something we did in a previous podcast about this is like they brought the script to Feige, did they not?
Yes.
To say, hey, can you look this over? And
I'm going to look up what he exactly said because I remember us looking at that.
And I don't remember if they said they followed all of it, just some of it, or none of it. I thought it was some of it at least.
Hell, let me see.
They did better than the first people that did that.
Yeah, so let's see. Superhero hype. Fox asked Kevin Feige to review Dark Phoenix script. All right, via comicbook.com, writer and director Simon Kinberg revealed that Feige reviewed the script and tone for Dark Phoenix. This article, by the way, was written December of 2018, beginning of September 2018. This news comes from Twitter user Lodix, who attended the film's recent panel at CCXP in Brazil. It's doubtful that any cast members from the current X-Men series will reprise their role once Marvel is in charge, so Feige probably wasn't sowing the seeds for any future MCU happenings. It's more likely that he was just trying to help them make the best possible move. The best possible move. Feige has also indicated that even when the merger is complete, a new X-Men franchise is still a ways away. This isn't the first time Feige has given his 2 cents on a Marvel Studios film prior to its release. After the Sony Pictures hack in 2014, emails leaked between Feige and then Sony chairwoman Amy Pascal. Their correspondence from late 2013 detailed Feige's critiques of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which came out the following summer. Among several notes, Feige expressed concern with the film's overall opening scene, as well as the performance of Andrew Garfield and Paul Giamatti. Most of his comments were ignored, and the Spider-Man franchise was later rebooted again. So we don't know what X-Men is doing, but we do know that, hey, Sony asked Feige for help. Feige gave him his 2 cents. They ignored it. They made a crap movie.
So
I didn't like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was kind of like,
it was okay.
I like the first one better than the second one.
Yes, I'll agree with that. And I'm hoping that Dark Phoenix learned from that.
Plus, Paul Giamatti as the Rhino.
That was
really?
shit. I'm sorry. That was shit.
But it's Paul Giamatti.
I fucking hated that scene.
You like me from Liar Liar?
I fucking hated that scene. And I say it that harshly because I hated that scene.
I thought it was dumb.
That
Kevin Feige didn't really like.
Yeah. And he was right to. That was dumb. I hated it.
Hey, I'm Paul Giamatti. I'm the Rhino.
How often do you hear me actually say that? Never. I hated that fucking scene. It was dumb and it was shit.
I hear vindication in Johnny's voice for once. Yes, let the hate flow through you.
I hated that scene. I thought it was dumb.
Give me a hood. I'll be Palpatine over here. Let the hate flow through you.
You're inside me.
But yeah, so Sony, we look at that.
And
they didn't follow his advice, and it wasn't a great movie.
And I'm hoping they at least took some of his advice. So if you had Feige step in and do something, it can't be a shit film.
Yeah.
As long as he listened.
And I wonder how much.
Because I feel like Feige is the one that's like, I don't want you to fail.
Yeah, well, because now it's Disney.
It's attached to my... Well, because also it's like...
attached to my name.
It's attached to my name now.
Uh-huh.
If you guys don't listen to me, I'm going to say I had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
But since you guys are it's like you guys are going to be joining Disney. I at least want you guys to have a chance to make something good. This is what I think you should do because I've made all these fucking superhero movies.
So I got a question for you. And this goes off of Dark Phoenix a little bit into Marvel. Could Marvel, when they reboot X-Men... What would you think of them doing an uncanny lineup? Like the first lineup we see for the X-Men for them is the uncanny X-Men.
Explain. I don't.
So that would
they know and I don't remember.
So instead of the lineup that we see here of like Mystique, you've got Wolverine, like all of the... Instead of basically, hey, let's take the 90s cartoon and just do that lineup. The uncanny X-Men, which I believe were the first X-Men comics when the X-Men were started.
So, yeah.
That original lineup was Cyclops, Marvel Girl, which was Jean Grey before she was Jean Grey.
Yeah.
You had Beast, Angel, and Iceman. That's your lineup.
I'd be down with that.
Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel, and Iceman.
I'm down with that.
Along with their arch enemy, Magneto, and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So the Brotherhood at that time was Mastermind, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Toad. And then you can introduce more X-Men as you go on.
I would be down for that, especially if you somehow, bro. You might in this MCU now, like kind of have like not have Quicksilver now. I don't think you're gonna bring him back.
He's dead.
He's dead. So I don't think you're gonna fuck that around with that. But you have to have the other ones.
Scarlet Witch is obviously
Scarlet Witch manipulated by Magneto. I'm your father.
Well, and here's the thing too, and I want to throw this out there that so every X-Men movie we've seen so far has just been here's the X-Men, here's a ton of fucking characters to get your mind around, especially a first film. Could Disney do, like literally, could they do what they did with the Avengers? We're not going to give you an Avengers movie right away. We're not going to give you an X-Men movie right away.
Characters.
Let's branch them off into solo. Or is it like, well, no, they're the X-Men. They're really like, they are together.
That was the point of the X-Men, like when they made the comics, is you don't need a solo, like a origin movie anymore. They were born with these powers.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like scrapes that part out of it. You don't really need solos. Like you can have these are the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then you can like set up the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Really the only one that I would say needs an origin is Wolverine.
Yeah, really. Because he was born with his powers, but the claws, no.
Yeah. Well, and like, I wonder with them if, because I'll be honest, all of the X-Men movies I have seen in my life, so the original trilogy, so X-Men, X2, and Last Stand, which this blows my freaking mind. We fucked up the Phoenix Saga once already. Let's do it again.
Yeah, why not?
And you know what? I'm actually going to look at something because I think I'm right, but I'm not actually going to voice my opinion until I know I'm right or I'm wrong. And I'm going to voice it anyways and be like, wow, guys, I'm a freaking idiot. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant C-Men, not X-Men. Let's see. Where's the X-Men Last Stand? Yeah. I was right. You want to know who wrote the Last Stand script? Simon Kinberg. Who's Simon Kinberg, Johnny? The guy doing freaking Dark Phoenix.
Oh, God.
So, you already wrote a movie that sucked about this. Why would I trust you with it again?
Let me get a second chance, guys.
And that's another reason why I think this movie is doomed to fail. Because although it was Burt Ratner who directed Last Stand, it was Simon Kinberg and Zach Penn who wrote it. So that's why I'm going in with not the best of expectations for this movie. Which is, okay. On New Mutants, he was just a producer. Like, yeah, Dark Phoenix. Wow. Dark Phoenix, he is doing the gambit. So, here's the thing. Simon Kinberg, or Kinberg, I keep adding a G in there. So, First Class, he just produced it. Then, Days of Futures Past, he wrote it and produced it. Then we have Apocalypse. He wrote and produced it. Dark Phoenix. He's directing, writing, and producing. You want to find, like, here's the thing that I find funny. Is for me, this is me, everyone else is different. For me, the movie that I thought was the best out of these, he didn't write or direct. The two that I thought, like, Days of Futures Past was rough. Apocalypse wasn't horrible. He wrote but didn't direct. The one that I think is going to be the biggest pile of crap is the one where he's directing, writing, and producing. I think we found the problem with this movie.
Well, I think Marvel's just not going to hire him back, though.
Oh, no. He's not going anywhere near
He's not touching it.
Marvel, let's be honest.
Russo's
Marvel has
produced.
their pen of like directors and then up and coming directors that they want to snag.
They have their own draft.
They know how to find the good ones.
They have their own draft.
Yeah, like the ones that they find. Like I am surprised that Patty Jenkins, who's doing the Wonder Woman movies, was not found by Marvel first. Like that is one where it's like, wow, you good on DC. They got one for the team.
Right? They got one.
And then they stole James Gunn for a movie.
A movie.
A movie before Disney's like, ooh, we weren't going to take you back, but yeah, now you're forcing us to take you back. We don't want DC to steal you away from us. Any final thoughts on Dark Phoenix or anything?
I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to go in with open mind. I kind of like the one concept they're going with and given, I think that's what it is that almost albino looking girl is the Phoenix Force in her head.
No, I don't think she's that at all.
You don't think that?
No, I think that she is. Oh shoot, what's her name? I'm just gonna pull up Comixology.
I don't think it's Emma Frost.
It's not Emma Frost. Who I am thinking it is let me pull up the Dark Phoenix comic really quickly, and then I will be able to tell you. Let's see. Flip through these pages. It's a long freaking comic. What's her name? It's like Zandlar or something. Here she is. That's it. I was totally wrong. Lilandra. Lilandra is the so Imperial Center ruling seat of she is the Magistrate Shahar. So it's a cosmic entity.
Okay.
But that's because I know we had mentioned before that Lilandra might be in this, and I'm pretty sure that's Lilandra.
Okay.
Fucking with Dark Phoenix and Jean Grey. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Here's the thing. Here's the people I really want to hear from. And I know I have a negative outlook of this already. I'm not excited for it. I want to hear from the people that are excited for it. And I don't want this to be an argument, because I will say I might have been a little brash with my thoughts of this because of how much I'm not looking forward to this movie, because I want the best out of these X-Men movies. But I really want to know where you guys are coming from. If you are excited for this, why? Tell me. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. I would love to talk to you guys about why you are excited for this and get maybe a new perspective on this that maybe I am not seeing. So let us know what you guys are thinking down below in that comment section.